What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar tutorial for Bored by Billie Eilish. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know in the comments below what other songs by Billie Eilish that you want to learn on guitar. Guys, the first thing that you want to know to play Bored on guitar is that we're going to be in standard tuning and we will not need a capo to play this song. The next thing that you want to know for Bored is the structure of this song. We're going to start with a verse, then go to pre-chorus, then chorus, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus again. Then we're going to have another pre-chorus and we're going to finish up the song with one last chorus. And the last thing that you want to know before we dive into Bored is the 5 chords that you need to play this song. The first one is G. The next one is C. The next one is D. The next one is E minor. And the last one is B minor. And I'll have a beginner way to play that B minor as well as short chord tutorials for all the other chords in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into Bored. Guys, I'm super stoked to share Bored with you today. I actually hadn't heard this song. It's not really a new one, but I think it's getting a little bit of a surge in popularity right now. I've been getting a lot of requests for it, and I'm stoked. It's actually kind of becoming one of my favorite Billie Eilish songs. So with that in mind, the first thing that we're going to take a look at for Bored is what we're playing for our verses. For verses, we're going to have a pretty simple 2-chord progression, and then we're going to have 2 different strum pattern options to go along with it. Our verse chord progression is going to be G and B minor. And we're just going to go back and forth between those 2 chords through all of our verses, just repeating that progression over and over. Our first strum pattern option is the easiest one. It's very, very simple, and it's going to be the one that we're going to be using for our first verse, which is a single down strum for each chord, just held out and extended. And it's going to sound kind of like this. We're going to go G, B minor. Again, G, B minor. Just about like that, repeated all through the first verse. There's a couple other places where it kind of dips down like that, but the main place you're going to hear that single down strum pattern is in the first verse with that chord progression. The second strum pattern we're going to be using for our verses really is what we're using for the verse 2 strum pattern. We're going to have that same chord progression for verse 2, but our strum pattern for each chord is going to be down, up, 8 times pretty quickly for each chord, and it's going to look kind of like this. Start with our G chord. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's just going to repeat all through verse 2. So with that in mind, a couple times to the verse chord progression with each of those 2 strum patterns a couple times will look about like this without me talking. From there, guys, we're into my favorite part of the song, which is the pre-choruses. The pre-choruses are really, really groovy in the actual song, and they're a lot of fun to play on guitar. So our pre-chorus chord progression is going to be E minor, G, C, C again, and then D. And you notice that those last 2 chords have a star next to them, and that's because we're playing those last 2 chords for a half measure, which pretty much just means we're going to be playing those for half as long as all of the other chords, which means we'll be doing something a little different for our strum pattern there, but we'll get there in just a second. So our strum pattern for all of our non-starred chords is going to be down, up, down, down, up for each chord. So walking through our chord progression will look about like this. We'll start with our E minor here. We're going to go down, up, G, down, up, down, up, and then C, down, up, down, up. And then we're going to go to that C with a star on it, and all of our starred chords are going to get just a quick down, down, up for each chord. It's going to look like this. Down, down, up, and then D, down, down, up. Just about like that. And that chord progression with those 2 strum patterns is going to repeat through all of our pre-choruses. Like I said, this is my favorite part of the song. I think it has a really cool sound and a really cool feel. I like those little half measures there at the end. I'm kind of a sucker for that kind of chord structure. So with all that in mind, guys, a couple times to the pre-chorus chord progression and those 2 strum patterns we'll be using for the pre-chorus will look about like this without me talking. And guys, finally, the last thing that you need to know to play Bored on guitar is what we're playing for our choruses. For our choruses, we're gonna have a pretty simple chord progression, and we're gonna have two different strum patterns, both that we've already used before. So for our chorus chord progression, we're gonna be playing G, E minor, B minor, and C. Just repeated over and over, no half measures, nothing weird there, just straight out chords. So what we're gonna be doing for our first strum pattern option for our chorus is what we're gonna be hearing in the first chorus of the song, which is just a single down strum for each chord, just kind of like we did in the verses. It's gonna sound kind of like this. We're gonna go down, 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 again, down, 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 down. Just about like that. And that's just gonna repeat through the first chorus. Again, single down strums are nothing too crazy. I'm sure most of you guys are pretty comfortable with those, so we're not gonna spend a ton of time on that. But that's the strum pattern you can use for the first chorus. All of the other choruses, this is the strum pattern I'm using. It's actually the same thing as what we played for our pre-chorus strum pattern for all the non-starred chords in the pre-chorus. So it looks kind of like this. We got our G chord, and it's gonna be down, up, down, down, up. Just about like that for each one of our chords. So walking through the chord progression, it'll look like this. We'll go down, up, down, down, up, 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 again, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Just about like that, repeated through all of the choruses except for the first one, which we use the single down strums on. So nothing too crazy here, guys. It's kind of just combining a couple of the concepts that we've used throughout the song and adding it to a new chord progression that we're using for our choruses. Pretty fun to play and also pretty beginner friendly. So same thing here, guys. A couple times through that chorus chord progression with both of those strum pattern options, a couple times each, will look about like this without me talking. And guys, that's everything that you need to know to play Bored on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helps you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 900 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel. And I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there couldn't be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want a better chance of me teaching your song request, you can hit up my Instagram at @thegroovyguitardude. I've been teaching 2 to 5 song requests on my Instagram stories every week. So if you want a better chance of me teaching yours, hit up my Instagram. And finally, guys, if you need a little extra help with this song or any other aspect of beginner guitar, you can hit up this link right up here to book a one-on-one lesson with me. Guys, thanks so much for requesting Bored. This is a really groovy song. I liked it as soon as I heard it, and a bunch of you guys requested it. And it's kind of interesting because this isn't a new song, and it's kind of getting a surge in popularity. I'm not really super sure why, so maybe you guys can let me know in the comments down below, so I'm kind of aware of why this song is getting more popular all of a sudden out of nowhere, even though I think it's like maybe 3 or 4 years old now. But it's a really groovy song. Like I said, it's kind of turning into one of my favorite Billie Eilish songs just after a day or two of listening to it. It's just really, really beautiful. I love that pre-chorus. I don't know what it is about that pre-chorus other than just I really like the chord structure and the strum pattern and just the feel of it. But this song is a great song for beginner guitarists. It really just has chord progressions and strum patterns, nothing too crazy. The most difficult part of this song for most people is just going to be the B minor chord, which again I will have a beginner way to play in the pinned comment if you need it. But guys, this is a beautiful song. I had a lot of fun learning it. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.